more than anything else, the commitment to your divinity. And I can be committed to my divinity. I'm good with that. So today I say, I am committed to my divinity. Let's know that together. I am committed to my divinity. I like that. Yeah? I am committed to my divinity, at least in this moment. And then in the next moment, I will remember that as well. It's Jim and Carla Keys. How are y'all?
We're great. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see y'all. Well, I mean, I've been seeing y'all on a regular basis because y'all been posting a lot, which is good. This quarantine's got you making a lot of music together, coordinating your costumes. I swear, I look and I go, those two y'all just look like you're having so much fun with what you do.
It's our honeymoon.
Yeah.
It's been about a year, hasn't it?
No, we got married in November.
You got engaged about a year ago, though. April of last year, is that right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But then, okay, so you just got married in November.
Right.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you had a little bit of time, and now the true test is, okay, now we're stuck together. Let's see if if we made the right decision.
Oh, we made the right decision.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I could tell from the moment I first saw the two of you together, because I met you separately. I knew you separately, and then I was like, wait, I didn't know. How do y'all know each other? And the connection of there, and Yolanda. Jim played. Jim Keys was the guitar and all sorts of instruments on several of Reverend Yolanda's old time gospel hours and different things that we did together. And then I remember, I think the first time I realized y'all were sort of a thing was when Carla came to see one of the shows and we were hanging out afterwards, and I was like,
yes.
Oh.
Also, we were rehearsing for Yolanda's 60th review.
Okay.
That was,
and that's when it started budding,
if you will.
Yeah. And I knew you from Voices in Unity Choir.
Yes, of course.
When you would come in and you would do like a substitute,
I cracked the whip when Britt was gone. I was like, forget it. I'm cracking the whip on y'all. We're gonna work.
We always loved it when you would come in though. We'd be like, oh my God, Ken's here. This is so great.
I always had fun filling in. Those were some fun moments because y'all were all, I'm very committed to it, and you it's such a great sound. And so it was so much fun to just sort of go in and be able to be like, okay, look, I think it's different when somebody comes in and visits because you sort of behave a little better than sometimes you do with the person that's, trying to take care of you on a regular basis. And, but I always had a blast. So many of those great songs. And I know I've stolen many of those arrangements and done them with my little choir of 15 at Unity Center, Norwalk. So it's been fun. There's Reverend Yolanda.
What you do.
Reverend Yolanda's giving us a thumbs up.
Hey, Reverend Yolanda.
I said, you should tune in today because three of your favorite people are on the show today. So I'll include myself in that,
of course,
in that mix. So y'all seem to be doing pretty well, but social media paints one picture, and then we don't usually put our crappy days out there on the social media for everybody. But
what we do is we tone down the happiness when we get on the videos. We don't want people to be too jealous.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. But hey, I've loved. I mean, y'all just keep. How do y'all come up with all these ideas? What's your? Because it's, I don't know. It just seems like it's a never-ending pool of like, oh, this is what we're gonna do today. And I mean, what kind of closet do y'all have with all these things in it?
Yeah, people ask us a lot about the closet, but like we get up in the morning, we always plan to have like planned ahead of time, but it doesn't usually work that way. We'll wake up in the morning and be like, okay, what are we gonna wear? What are we gonna do? Yeah, because like sometimes one of us might say a song and the other say, no, don't want to do that, and then we'll decide it, and then we'll like practice it a little bit, and then we're like, okay, what are we gonna wear? So.
And we come from different musical backgrounds that overlap a little bit, so that's always fun to get each other's influence on. Oh, I never thought of that song. All right, so that's always fun.
Yeah, well, it always connects right here, and I think that's part of the overlap, is that that there's a certain amount of soul in both of what you do, and a certain amount of heart in both of that. And I think it just sort of comes together. I think that's sort of where the marriage of the two different styles fits so nicely, is in the connection to what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's apparent that there's like just a love for what you do, which is nice.
And as a singer, Carla is such a quick study that, you know, even if it's a song that she's really not familiar with, she internalizes it really quickly and finds her angle and delivers it really fast. And that's
it's all that jazz training, that vocal
That's
jazz.
true. That's true.
And I just keep getting amazed at that guy back there. He seems to. I don't think there's an instrument he can't play.
I think you're right.
I haven't found it yet. I mean, do you play horns as well? I know you played lots of these
horns
and lots of these.
No percussion.
No percussion. I have terrible rhythm.
Well, hey, at least we know our strengths and weaknesses, right?
Absolutely.
That's half the battle. No, but it's interesting because I mean I've always known you as a guitarist and stuff, and then I've seen you do some pretty cool things on the keys, and
Well, thank you.
living up to your name, Mr. Keys.
That is what I do.
And that is your God-given name, not some stage name that you just created. Because
I come from a long line of people who've had children, and so we.
I think I come from that. I might come from that same line. Oh, craziness. Well, I'm so glad you're on today, and I'm just gonna turn it over to y'all and let you share your tune with us.
Terrific.
Sure. All right. Yes. So actually, before we get started, I definitely want to give a shout out to Reverend Yolanda, because she kind of gave us a start, gave us a push into performing at Unity centers, and we've also started writing for like Unity tunes, and
we've definitely been inspired by her music.
Yes.
And how she writes.
Yeah. So definitely have to give a shout out to Reverend Yolanda. Thank you. So we're gonna sing a song called "And So It Is," and it's all about the
what they say at Unity.
Yeah,
so it is.
The Unity principles. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes. And so it is. There is only one presence, only one power, God the good. And so it is. I am made in that image, made from the Spirit, the divine. And so it is. I'm the essence of God, inherently good, Spirit within me. And so it is. And so it is. I am co-creator with the thoughts held in mind. And so it is. Through prayer and meditation, affirmation, I align. And so it is. I'm the essence of God, inherently good, Spirit within me. And so it is. And so it is. I'm the essence of God, inherently good, Spirit within me. And so it is. Spirit within me. And so it is.
Yes, and so it is. That's what I say. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, when did y'all write that?
We wrote that song in July. We were moving Carla out of the city. And as we were going back and forth between Westchester and Manhattan, we were just batting around ideas and talking about, and so it is, this concept of, and so it is. I'm not a spiritual person, and she very much is, so we have a lot of discussions. And I just got to thinking about, and so it is, but what is? So Carla said, well, those are the unity principles. So I didn't know what they were. I do now. And we just started fitting them into a framework lyrically, and the music just kind of came together when I play it correctly. So it's a really nice feel. What happens with us is we just start talking, and then things start happening, and we end up with music.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Now, I don't understand how you say you're not really a spiritual person, but I know you have a spiritual album or a gospel album from several years ago. It's got to be at least 10 years ago because.
Oh, it's yeah.
And so
that was a slightly different experience in that my father had been dying of cancer in North Carolina. And I would go down to see him, and I would meet all these people of faith. And they were very much strong faith, as was he. And as I would drive back and forth between North Carolina and New York, these kind of gospel-y songs would come to me. These things that these people said would come to me. And I just thought, well, I'll write these songs, and my dad will like them. And well, he never got to hear them, but but I have an album.
Oh, I'm sure he's heard them.
Thank you.
He's playing that album nonstop. And little did you know that you'd still be doing it.
I had no idea. Very
you
true.
had a come to Carla moment, which is sort of like a come to Jesus moment in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it started with a song that we ended up writing together called Make Room for Blessings. Because as I was moving, as we were putting households together, I was getting rid of a lot of stuff. I'm kind of a hoarder. And Carla would say, well, you're making room for blessings. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
And so we ended up writing that song too.
We need to have you come back and do that one in a couple of weeks.
We would love to.
Yeah, because that's definitely a unity song that I don't know if it was maybe one of well, I mean, there's different classes we've taken, and like Catherine Ponder books, they talk about, you make room for blessings by getting rid of things. It's a good manifestation technique, if you will. When you have too much stuff, it's hard to have room to make more, to bring more things in. So it was about, don't be afraid to throw out things, because new things will come in and take its place.
They also do that in Forties and in Prosperity Plus. They often talk about sort of releasing things as a way of making room for things to come in and being in the flow of what that is. I know Jen Davis, she goes to Unity Center of Norwalk, and she has a prosperity story once. She went through and started cleaning out the garage and doing all this stuff, and then it's like the blessings started coming, financial blessings coming in, and she was like, I'm going to clean out my garage more often. But it's so true. We become aware of many things, and even that condo woman, the Japanese woman who folds everything. Marie, that's her. I couldn't remember her first name. I love the way she talks through that process too. It's sort of like, even if you're getting rid of something, it's not like, oh, I'm getting rid of it, or this junk, or this whatever. It's like, express your gratitude toward it, and then release it because it will benefit someone else, or it will go somewhere else. But that you don't get rid of things with a sense of getting rid of them. It's sort of expressing gratitude for what it is and how it has served you and how it has been a part of your life, and now you're ready to send it on to whatever is next.
I found that also with food. I had gained a lot of weight over the past couple of years, and I really had to change how I eat. And rather than thinking in terms of giving up sugar or giving up bread, I've been thinking I've moved on from. I'm evolving as and I no longer need or want these. I've moved on from it, so I'm not giving up things. I'm advancing. It's
interesting that you talk about that, because I was just thinking about food. I think we are all thinking about a lot of food these days. Yeah. But I was sitting there, like sometimes I'm like in the kitchen, and it's just me here. So most of the time I don't have a lot on. I got like some shorts on, and that's about it most of the time. And so, but I got a lot of mirrors in the house, not because I'm vain. It makes the place feel bigger when you got 250 square feet. So, but I'm in the kitchen, having something to eat and looking at the mirror above the sink, like, what happened? What happened? And then I'm like, okay, I got to be kind. I can't be like, oh my God, I'm so fat. Because that's not a way to be kind to my body. But I got to find, but then I also have to find a way to move on into something else. And so even when I was getting ready this morning, I said, I'm just going to take a moment before I eat to be conscious of what I'm doing. So if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm going to grab for this, it's like, just take a moment, take a minute or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe even set a timer and just go, okay, I'm just going to focus. I'm going to recenter on what is the truth of who I am for a moment. And then if I decide to still eat it, I decide to still eat it, but I'm going to see what that does for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
just being conscious.
A health thing. I just realized I want to have as much time as I can with Carla. We met later in life, and that's my motivation.
Yeah. Well, I want you to have as much time with Carla as you can too. because I love it. And I love the ridiculousness when y'all go out into the forest and you take pictures in your costumes. I'm sitting there going, y'all's neighbors must think this couple, this man, but it's just so joy filled. I sit and I think, look at them. They're just doing things that bring them joy, and it don't matter. And I love that. I absolutely love that. Well, I am glad that you made room for a blessing for us today by sharing a little bit of time. And I'm definitely gonna have you back and have you come sing "Make Room for Blessings" for us.
Wonderful.
Because why not? So we'll look to have you back maybe the week of the 18th. Because I know I'm still doing it every week that week. So we'll figure something out. Seems like our schedules are fairly free these days for things. As long as I'm not catching you in a teaching moment or whatever, we'll figure it out. So, well, thank you so much. Y'all are a blessing in my life. You bring me joy every time I see you online. And I know it feels like it's been forever since I've seen you, but at least I feel social media does connect us in a certain way. And for that, I am grateful. And I need to make a drive up to see y'all. And
thank you for having us today. We really appreciate you here.
I am glad to do it. So we will see each other again soon, one way or another.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Many blessings.
You too.
Jim and Carla Keys. They're just good people, and we need more good people in the world. And tomorrow at 11:11.